Greetings, fans, and welcome again to All Your Cricket, and also for fans on Massive Hit Cricket TV. The Champions Trophy is up and running, and again, another ICC tournament, and there's early pressure on Pakistan. Pakistan are no strangers to this. In the ICC tournaments that Pakistan have won before, they've always started poorly. Today, I have with me my co host to discuss the first match down in this Champions Trophy tournament, Samir Malik. Malik, good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Hi guys, what a disappointing start to the Champions Trophy for the Pakistani fans. As you said, Roger, you're absolutely right. That's what Pakistan does. They lose early and they try to make a comeback, but this is not acceptable. Unfortunately, what they did today, counts as I think a death blow. I think the India game is next, and I don't think Pakistan can recover. I think that's what it looks like. What a
Well,
disappointment.
New Zealand batted first, and the pitch, Samir, didn't appear to be a straightforward batting surface, but New Zealand batted brilliantly. After a shaky start, Will Young played an absolutely fantastic knock of 107. New Zealand amassed 320 for five, an overpower score on this surface, if you ask me. And also, Tom Latham, a brilliant 118. Calm, he was calm, he was composed, he was professional. He played the spin well, he played the reverse sweep, he played the sweep.
Hey,
Um,
listen, remember
Naseem
in our
Shah,
in our preview we said that New Zealand probably is one of the favorites going into this tournament, right? And we said, hey, listen, this is a team that has a lot of experience and their players know how to play in these conditions. They've played the PSL, they've played the IPL. These are very familiar conditions. And remember, on top of it, they'd already beaten Pakistan twice in the last week. And now they've beaten them three times in 10 days. So once again, New Zealand is proving to be a professional outfit. And once again, I think now New Zealand is in the driver's seat for a semi-final spot.
well, in reply, Pakistan shot out for 260. Khushdil 69, Babar Azam 64, O'Rourke 3 for 47, and Santner 3 for 66. New Zealand winning here by 60 runs. Now,
Easy win for New
easy
Zealand.
win. Now,
Yeah.
Samir.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna say something here. Babar
Mhm.
Azam, okay. Once again, what a disappointing knock. 64 of 90 balls. And in the first 10 overs, 20 runs. Now, understandably, Fakhr Zaman got injured early. And remember, he was, everybody said he's one of the X factors. He's going to be the player of the tournament. Unfortunately, on the second ball of the game, he ran to, stop a four and he pulled something. But even with him being injured, there's no excuse that in the power play you are only going to score 20 runs. Pakistan was bundled out for 260 in 47 overs, but there were 20 in 10 overs. So they really scored 237 in the last 37 overs. So an unbelievable, disappointing batting performance, especially by Babar Azam. Remember, we kept saying that Babar Azam is going to be back in form. This is the tournament where he's going to do what he's going to do. And guess what? I think he really disappointed. I think the 64 of 90 possibly is his worst knock as an international cricketer.
Well, since you touched on Babar Azam, Samir, we might as well continue. I tipped Babar Azam to make runs this tournament, to find form this tournament. Obviously, if he's going to bat in this manner, then it's not going to help the Pakistan team. What I will say, though, is perhaps getting time at the crease, spending 90 ball at the crease. Maybe that will help Babar Azam going forward into the next few games. The next game will come up. They'll come up against India, but one thing that we've noticed about Babar Azam, Samir, he doesn't play the sweep. He doesn't play the reverse sweep. He doesn't play any of the modern sort of white ball cricket shots. And when he gets under pressure, he finds it difficult to score and to score quickly to help his team. Has white ball cricket, modern white ball cricket, moved on from Babar Azam?
Possibly. Hey, listen, possibly. But I don't think this is about Babar Azam. This is about fear. Babar Azam is playing as a batsman who's fearful of losing his wicket. That's the issue. Actually, if you look at it, Obviously Fakhr was injured, so I cannot criticize Fakhr. He scored 24 or 41, but he could barely run. Right? We knew he wasn't going to be himself. But then Salman Agha came in. He scored 48 of 28. Khushdil, who's not a great batsman, came in and scored 69 of 49. And then even Haris Rauf scored 19 of 10, trying to hit the ball. Babar, in his knock, didn't try to hit anything. Hey, listen, in today's world, 64 of 90 for an opening batsman or a top order batsman is unacceptable. Usually, you see a score like this from a batsman when a team is in big trouble, not from an opening batsman. And listen, you're an opener, you have no pressure, wickets haven't fallen around you, you can go score runs. I think this was a poor performance by Pakistan, but you got to give all the credit to New Zealand. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you something. New Zealand right now is one of the favorites, which I told you in the beginning. They're going to be one of the teams which I consider, especially considering the performances that they've had in the subcontinent over the last few months. But I'm going to tell you this: Will Young, that was an exceptional knock in the beginning. Naseem Shah, and then they brought in Abrar. They were really bowling well, but he played well. And then, obviously, listen, after losing Conway, after losing Williamson, after losing Mitchell, guess what? Tom Latham comes in at 73 for 3 and he plays an exceptional knock. Remember, Tom Latham is a former captain of this team, too. So you have Tom Latham, you have Kane Williamson, and I think Daryl Mitchell has captained at some point. Guess what? These are all experienced players and they've played very well in these conditions. I'm going to give all the marks here. New Zealand gets an A for performance in this game. Pakistan gets an F.
Well, New Zealand has played 11 ODIs in Pakistan since 2019, and it showed. They looked a team that is very experienced in playing in these Pakistani conditions. As you mentioned, obviously, a shaky start for New Zealand, but Will Young, not spoken about a lot, and obviously, with Ravindra not being able to take his place in the lineup today, it's reasonable to assume that Will Young would have been the one left out of this team. Usually, Glenn Phillips would sort of compete for that position as well, as far as one of the top seven batsmen who would be left out. But he scored a brilliant century recently. So Will Young, he was calm, he was professional, he was composed. But Tom Latham, very very highly underrated player, Samir. The way he played spin, the way he crafted his innings, the way he accelerated, really brilliant stuff there from Tom Latham. And Glenn Phillips, the power, the poise. Talk to me about Glenn Phillips.
Hey, listen, let me go over Tom Latham first. Hey, listen, Tom Latham is one of those characters in New Zealand cricket, which
Mm,
I feel, he's a man of all seasons. I've seen him open the batting in Tests, I've seen him open the batting in ODIs, and then I've seen him down the order. This guy is exceptional. He is the modern cricket player. You put him in any spot and he performs for his team. Now, statistically, he might not have the Virat Kohli or the Babar Azam average, but I think he's at par in white ball cricket when it comes to situational cricket. And that's what he did here. Came in at 73 for 3. They've lost a few wickets. And guess what? He went right to work and he built the innings. And then when Glenn Phillips came in along with him, tremendous partnership. I think they put on 125 in like 12 overs. That's exceptional. And obviously, Glenn Phillips had 61 of 39. But remember, during that time, Latham also had 60 of 25 balls. So, you have two players batting together at 200 strike rate. That's what
mhm,
counts. That is what
absolutely.
one day cricket is all about now. You got to remember, Roger, we're playing with two balls, right? We play with one ball from one side, one ball from one side. So it's a 25 over ball. Right around the 40 over mark, a 20 over ball is not that much of an older ball, right? And guess what they did with the ball? They smashed it all over the park. Latham had three sixes, Glenn Phillips had four sixes, and they beat up on probably a very, very good bowling lineup. I think Afridi, Naseem Shah are very good bowlers. But guess what? When it comes to hitting, I think Glenn Phillips is becoming the new Maxwell of this era.
Well, what did you make of the Pakistan bowling attack? And
I think,
Captain.
listen, they balled very well until
Mm,
the last 10 overs. They just gave up too many runs. And once again, I give all the credit to Latham and Phillips. As I said, hey, listen, Phillips scored 61 of 39 balls in a 12-over partnership. The rest of the 30 balls were faced by Latham, and he scored another 60 runs in the same time period.
Yeah. For me, one of the more disappointing factors of that Pakistani effort in the field, Samir, was the captain. He looked very, very flustered. He was having a go at his bowlers on a number of occasions. Even when the edges were hit and the ball went to third man, obviously that wasn't the field. That field wasn't set for the ball to end up in those
Hey,
positions.
listen,
But those
I think that's just frustration. I think that's frustration. Any captain can be frustrated. But, to be honest, once again, you're saying that if this was an over par score. I think this was a 300 pitch. Pakistan got 260. If Pakistan would have batted aggressively in the beginning and still lost, but you know, the fans would have said, "Hey, listen, at least they made an effort." There was no effort made in the first 10 overs. That's why Pakistan lost the game. New Zealand batted exceptionally, right? And still Pakistan was within 60 runs. This game felt like Pakistan lost by 150 runs, to be honest.
yeah, I mean
I
Pakistan.
think I think here's what's going to happen. I think here's what's going to happen. Pakistan is under extreme pressure. You know how unpredictable Pakistan is. Now Pakistan's going to go to Dubai to play India. I think they're going to play fearless cricket here. They got the shock of a lifetime. They were playing at home, fans supporting them. Remember, some of these cricketers, they haven't been playing in front of their fans for years and years. I think for all these players, to be honest, this was the first ICC match that they've played at home. So I think getting to Dubai, I think they're going to be a lot more relaxed. Remember, they've beaten India in Dubai last time by 10 wickets, once again in a T20 World Cup match. I think they're going to go there and they're going to try to win. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be very, very hard because India is going to be ready.
Yeah. Now, I guess, looking at it, Samir, Pakistan, as you said, were never really in the hunt. And to be honest, in modern ODI cricket and chasing a score like this, it just looked to me as if the Pakistan batsmen simply lack ability. They lack the ability to chase down
No,
these types of.
I think it's fair, Roger. I think they're fearful. I don't think that they lack the ability. You've seen all these players, including Babar Azam, bat exceptionally well at some point in the last couple of years. I think this today was more about fear. I think they were fearful of losing. And when you have that fear in your mind that you're going to lose, you will lose. Actually, if you look at it, Khushdil,
100
69 of
runs,
49,
100
Salman Aga,
runs.
42 of 28. They showed you how to bat.
Samir, 100 runs in the last 10 overs, 160 runs in the first 40. That explains it.
Yep. Hey, listen, I just told you that they scored 20 in the first 10. So if you look at where we were and where we are now, this is all about fear. Roger, this is, as a batsman, you can't shut down. This is not test cricket. You're not playing on the Multan Express. Remember, we've done a lot of shows on the Multan Express. There is no Multan Express. This was a batting wicket. Maybe there was times where the ball stayed a little bit lower, or the ball came on a little bit slower. But listen, batsmen can adjust. And in today's world, remember, you play with these big bats, right? Even if you miss hit, it usually goes for a six. You saw a lot of miss hits by the New Zealand batsmen that were going for sixes too. I think, listen, this is all about New Zealand. I don't think you should make this about Pakistan. Pakistan made mistakes. Fakhar Zaman got injured. But I don't think even if Fakhar Zaman was going full force, Pakistan would have won this game. This is about New Zealand. New Zealand played exceptionally well.
Well, talking about New Zealand, how impressive was Matt Henry taking wickets with the new ball? Difficult to get away. Matt Henry has been around for a long time. Obviously, his sort of more superior counterparts, Tim Southey, left arm Bolt. These guys are not around anymore. But Matt Henry has certainly taken the mantle here. Also, Will O'Rourke,
Mhm.
3 for 47. Looks to be a young bowler with great temperament. Talk about these two.
Hey, listen, both of them are really, really good bowlers. But you know what New Zealand got right? New Zealand got the combination right. They played with two pacers and three spinners. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And that is where they won the game. Once again, we're not talking about this, but Michael Bracewell, 38 runs in 10 overs for 1 wicket. That's
Mhm.
exceptional bowling.
Absolutely.
And even though
Now, New
Glenn Phillips
Zealand.
went for a few at the end and Santner went for a few at the end, hey, listen, to be honest, they played with three pacers, but they never used Nathan. Nathan only bowled like 2 overs for 20 runs because they really used Bracewell, Phillips, and Santner for 29 overs. So New Zealand actually has the right idea. They came to Pakistan. These pitches are belters. Okay, once again, today wasn't a belter, but I expect these pitches to be belters going forward. And I think what's going to happen here is you're going to see consistently 300 plus runs. If as a batting unit you can't score 300 on every given day, you're not going to be doing well in this tournament. And that's what you've seen with Pakistan. And
It's been a long
tomorrow,
time.
India plays Bangladesh. And
Well,
guess
hold on.
what?
Mhm.
What I'm going to say is, hey, listen, if India, puts up a big score against Bangladesh or chases it down quickly, it's going to put even more pressure on the Pakistani side.
Absolutely. Now, back to New Zealand, Samir. It's been a long time since I've seen a bad fielding New Zealand team. New Zealand were absolutely brilliant. Also in the field, Glenn Phillips took an absolute scream.
Oh,
Is there a better fielder in world cricket right now?
hey, listen, I'm telling you, Glenn Phillips, I keep on saying this that Glenn Phillips is the new Maxwell.
Mm.
I keep on saying this. Hey, listen, Maxwell fields well, balls well, and bats well. You remember that Maxwell knock that basically won them the game against Afghanistan in the World Cup?
Oh yeah, that
I'm
was
telling
amazing.
you, I'm telling you, Glenn Phillips is going to have one of those games very soon. He is exceptional. He can do everything on his own, and it's confidence, right? And you know what? It's You got to give credit to the New Zealand setup. Look at the team that they've set up here. They have an exceptional unit playing together.
No, that is absolutely absolutely true. Now, New Zealand clinical performance, one of the favorites in this tournament. For me, my favorite for this tournament. They look in pretty good shape going into their next game. Pakistan going into their next game against India, who will play tomorrow against Bangladesh under pressure. Can Pakistan recover?
It's going to be very hard. I think they can because they're playing in Dubai. It's actually going to be easier playing in Dubai than playing in Pakistan right now for them because, hey, listen, the fans aren't going to be there. Remember, usually in these ICC tournaments, especially on a neutral ground, you usually have a lot more Indian fans in the stadium. So I think it's going to be easier for Pakistan. I think so. But at the same time, listen, India is a fantastic team, and I can't wait to watch India tomorrow to get a feel of what India is going to do in the Sunday game. Remember, regardless of Pakistan losing or winning this game today, the India game was still going to be a big game.
So India comes up tomorrow against Bangladesh. India has won their last three ODIs. Bangladesh has lost their last four. For most people, this will seem pretty straightforward, Samir, as far as how this game will go or how it's supposed to go. What is your take on India versus Bangladesh, and can we get a competitive game tomorrow?
I doubt it. I doubt it. India's in really good form. Their batsmen are scoring runs quicker without taking any risk, and their bowlers have showed that they're going to provoke a mistake over and over and over again from you. I saw this in the England series, and England's a good team, but India treated them with disdain. They scored runs at will, and they took wickets at will. And I think, Bangladesh is not going to be competitive enough. Even though Bangladesh has played good cricket over the last 12 months, I know they've lost the last three ODIs and most of them they lost to West Indies, right? But in the meantime, to be honest, they've played decent cricket over the last 12 months. But they're no match to India at this point, especially this squad. And even without Bumrah, I think India is going to be very, very difficult to handle.
Bangladesh expected to have a lot of pace on your armor tomorrow. Nahid Rana, we saw him in the Westerners recently, really hustled some of these Westerners batsmen. India has in their ranks Shreyas Iyer, who has recently come back. He's made runs against England. Has Shreyas gotten over his short ball issues? And also, will he be able to handle the pace of Bangladesh?
I think so. I think so. I think the Indian batsmen are going to play this very well. I think, hey, listen, Nahid Rana is definitely a good player, but hey, listen, he's just kicking off right now, right? He's just starting off. So let's see how he does over the next, 3 games. I think he has 3 games to prove himself, and if he can prove himself, great. But I don't expect him to have an exceptional performance. If he has an exceptional performance, Bangladesh is in the hunt. I don't think Bangladesh is even winning, even with an exceptional performance. Remember, Bangladesh has never had this kind of firepower, right? So basically, let's see, how India reacts to it. And I think India is going to react, as they always do. They're going to assess the situation, and they're going to, if he does perform really well, they're just going to perform around him. That's what it is.
Now, Rishabh Pant is there. He's in the squad. Will India be tempted to play Rishabh Pant over KL Rahul?
Hey, listen, I thought they would. I thought they would, but remember yesterday in the preview, you said you really believe that KL Rahul is the safer choice. Um,
For me, KL
you
Rahul
know,
is yes.
from my perspective, remember, listen, they don't have many left-handers in the top order, right? Remember, if they play KL Rahul, that means that Sharma and Gill both right-handers, Kohli and Iyer both right-handers, and Rahul a right-hander. So I was thinking, obviously, they have Jadeja and Axar as lefties down the order after Pandya, but it's a righty team, right? So I think putting in Pant instead of Rahul actually does make technical sense. Now the problem is, hey, listen, in a 50-over game, if Pant is Pant and all of a sudden he makes a mistake and he's gone, India gets exposed, right? That's what it is. So that I think obviously India also wants to win this tournament. So with Sharma and how Gautam Gambhir operate, probably they're going to go with KL Rahul. But I would like Pant.
Yeah. Mohamed Shami, he comes back
Yeah,
after a long layoff with injury.
he gets in.
Hopefully,
He gets in instead of Bumrah, right? That's what it is, right?
Mhm.
I think listen, Shami is a really really good bowler, and I think once again India is going to go in with 2 pacers. Hardik Pandya is the third medium pacer, and then they're going to have 3 spinners. Perfect combination. That's the formula for this Champions Trophy. New Zealand just showed you they had 3 spinners along with 2 pacers and a medium pacer. India is going to do the same thing. No, there's a reason why these 2 teams are favorites, right? Because they are the best combination.
Varun Chakravarti, everyone is talking about him. Everyone is talking about his variations. Rohit recently said he doesn't show his variations much in the nets. But during a game when it matters, that's when he really comes out with these surprises. Any expectations of Varun Chakravarti for this
Hey,
tournament?
listen, as far as my sources are concerned, they're telling me he's not even playing tomorrow.
Mm.
So, once again, that's my sources, but hopefully he plays. What I've heard is that they're going to bring in Jadeja, Axar, and Kuldeep for this game. So, if he does play, I think he's going to play instead of Axar. That's what I think. But you never know, hey, listen, what India is thinking at this point. Maybe India is just putting out feelers saying he's not going to play and then throw him into the squad at the last moment, right? But as of right now, the sources are saying that India has announced the squad and they've not put him in the squad, which is surprising
Yeah.
because
All
he
right.
really performed well against England.
Mhm. All right, the Dubai leg of this tournament begins tomorrow when India takes on Bangladesh. No surprises. Both Samir and myself have India as clear favorites for tomorrow. Let's hope that we'll get a very competitive game, but certainly India start with one leg up on their opponents. You've been watching All or Cricket. Thank you, fans, to all the fans on All Your Cricket and also on the massive hit cricket show. Samir,
Thank you,
any final
Roger.
words?
We'll get together after the India game.
All right. See you soon.